What is up? Not so pro football talk. We are back at you with another Monday podcast, and we are. This is the end of week 2. Monday Night Football is going on. We got 2 games going on right now, which is going to be the Saints and Panthers, which is happening right now, and probably by the time we end this podcast, the Browns and Steelers will be kicking off. So if you actually are tuning in right now to the stream, we do appreciate it. You are giving up probably football watching. It is Saints and Panthers. I see right now the Panthers have scored is 3-0 right now. Panthers are up. So hopefully going to be exciting games. I really hate this Monday Night Football doubleheader thing. Like, which one am I supposed to watch? This is not a prime time. Both of these are not prime time games. Do you agree with me, Vincent?
Yeah, man, I feel like it's a little weird. Like we don't have red zone, so I have to be flipping back and forth, or I have to have 2 different screens to be watching. So I don't really like it.
Don't like it at all. They should have put one of these in the afternoon slot to help out NFL Red Zone. There's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. Prime time is supposed to be prime time. It's the only game that's going on. Come on. Exactly. But so far, a pretty good week 2. A lot of highlights, a lot of surprises, and a lot of teams are there letting us down. We'll get to that later. But right now, the most surprising thing for me has been the Rams. The Rams have actually been competing in these games. Me, Vincent, AJ, we counted this team out 100%, and then they surprised us and beat the Seahawks last week. And then they were actually competing in this game against the Niners. They only lost by 7, 30-23. How is this happening? What's working for them? Vincent, give us your thoughts right now.
So here's what it is. They lost Cooper Kupp, and everybody thought that was probably going to be a tragedy. But they have a lot of guys stepping up.
One of those guys, his name, it always escapes me. What is his name?
Puka.
Puka, that's the guy. See, I'm still like Matthew Stafford. I'm still learning these names like he is. Puka, Tutu. Who are these guys? Why is it working so well? Is Matthew Stafford actually good as I say he is?
Honestly, he's been playing lights out, in my opinion. But I also think their run game has been doing really well with Kyren Williams. Because as you saw, as the people that watched the game, because I watched for a little bit on Red Zone when I was driving home, basically Kyren Williams is the starter. Cam Akers is out. He is not getting not even 25% of the reps. It's all Kyren Williams. And Kyren Williams was even running great against the 49ers, who are a great run-stopping defense. But that's what I think the success is. Everybody's respecting their run game because of Kyren Williams and that O-line. And then so everything opens up, Puka Nacua is running great routes, and so is Tutu Atwell. So they're just quick guys. I think it just helps Matthew Stafford since he's already a seasoned quarterback.
For sure. I think we all counted this Rams team out potentially a little too quick. Maybe we're a little overhyped on them right now. They are 1-1, but they have played very well. Maybe we're a little overhyped on them, and they'll show their true colors later. But right now, we all counted them out after they lost Jalen Ramsey. Cooper Kupp is currently hurt. Matthew Stafford doesn't even know people's names. We counted this team out potentially too early, and they have surprised us. They've looked competitive on defense and offense. I'm very excited to see who these Rams truly are, because right now they could be potentially fighting for the second spot in the division. Isn't that right, Vince?
That's what I'm scared about, man. I don't know.
The Seahawks are not looking too hot. But we won't put you on the hot seat, all right, Vincent? We won't do that to you. Right now, we're going to talk about the 0-2 teams, the teams who have not performed or they just got unlucky. We're going to talk about all these 0-2 teams and me and Vince are going to give you our reactions and say, should we be panicking about these teams, or hey, they're going to figure it out. They'll do well, all right. So we're going to go down the line. Vikings. Now I said it from the beginning. They're not that good of a team. I didn't think they'll start 0-2. Don't get me wrong. I did not predict that. I will not give myself credit for that. But I did say they are not as good as everybody thinks they are. That defense is atrocious. I don't think Kirk Cousins is the guy that you can consistently count on. Amazing weapons on offense, obviously. Madison, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Addison is turning into a really good wide receiver over there, catching multiple great passes. He caught a touchdown last week. But overall, this Vikings team, they're not performing. What do you think, Vince?
So I have to agree with you here. I think Kirk Cousins is playing pretty great. Besides that first game, it was a really sloppy game, in my opinion, against the it was Tampa Bay, right?
It
That's who
was
they
a
played.
cheat. Oh, yeah, it was Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so they played pretty horrible in that game. I'll give you that. But Kirk Cousins played very well against the Eagles, and they had a way better defense than Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my opinion. But it's that defense for me. They are horrific. They have no studs besides Daniel Hunter. But other than that, I probably cannot name anybody on that defense. If I'm being honest, I'd probably have to look at a depth chart. The only other guy is probably like Harrison Smith, because it's Harrison Smith. He's a big
Yes.
hitter. But yeah, Vikings. I think they're in trouble, man. I think you're right about them. These one possession games are not going to go their way this season like they did last year.
For sure. The only team that might be worse than them in the NFC North is probably going to be the Bears. Bears 0-2. Now, Bears fans, as a Packer fan, I'm going to relish this moment because you guys gave us hell on Twitter, all the social media platforms, all off season long, saying Justin Fields, he's entering his third year. He's going to take that Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, etc. type of leap in his year 3. He's going to learn. He's going to develop more. He's going to become a passer. He's not going to be a runner anymore. You're right. He's not a runner anymore. He's only ran 14 times in these 2 games. Isn't that right, Vince? Guys, this team is not looking good. They beefed up on defense in the offseason, and they still are not doing that great. The offense is not clicking at all. Justin Fields looks like a grandmother going through progressions and trying to figure out who's open, who's not. He is not looking like the passer you guys hyped him up to be. So I know there's only one Bears fan that watches the show, which is Notorious TBG, other than my father, of course. But as a Bears fan, I would be overreacting right now. I would be throwing in the towel. I would be freaking out about why did we trade away the first overall pick, not get Bryce Young, and we're stuck with Justin Fields now. I would be freaking out. And I warned them when this whole trading out of the first overall pick. I said, I do not think it's a good idea. You're putting all your chips on Justin Fields, and I think that's a mistake. Now, potentially, you might have the first overall pick again after trading out of there, and you might be able to get Caleb Williams. But, Vincent, am I correct in everything I'm saying about the Bears, who I do respect, but you guys made a big mistake, in my opinion?
Yeah, man, I'll say that I was wrong, too. I hyped up Justin Fields a little bit, saying that he was probably going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and it's not looking like it at all. He's got some ground to make up if he is supposed to do that this year, but the way it's looking, next week they play against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to get blown out. If there's a spread that says 10 points that they're going to lose by, I would probably take it, in my opinion, because in both games they've lost by 10 or more. So, I mean, this team is not looking good defensively. They have their spurts, they'll give a 4 and out here and there, but they're just not consistent. These guys are not clicking well. The offense looks horrible because Justin Fields cannot make decisions, like you said. I agree with you totally right there. But it is what it is, The Bears are going to be the Bears. And we got our first comment here. Liam says, Saquon, why, man?
The 1 year he picks them up. Hey, that's how fantasy works, man. It shouldn't be, hopefully, a long-term.
Yeah.
It should be, from what I believe I read, is week to week. So hopefully, he's going to be out this week because it's a Thursday night game that they're playing, if I'm correct. Yes, that is correct, against the Niners. Honestly, I'll give you a spoiler. Even if he would have played that game, Liam, he wouldn't have good points against the Niners, all right? Niners destroy running backs. You don't start running backs against the 49ers defense. But Saquon, hopefully he can be back the following week. That's what I said. That's what I said. He's scared of the Niners. 100%, AJ. 100%. Hey, get well soon, buddy. Get well soon, all right? But, yeah, the Niners, they would have destroyed him. Saquon, hopefully he can be back soon for your fantasy team. And just because we want Saquon to be on the field, he's on a contract year. We want him to be
want him to get paid.
Liam says, come in here and say it to my face, AJ. He's calling you out, man. He's calling you out.
Throwing shots.
All right, so yeah, Saquon being hurt. Was it a hamstring or what? I forget what it was.
Ankle.
Ankle
was swollen like a bowling ball, apparently.
Oh, a bowling. That's not good. So hopefully he can be back soon, but they're going to be cautious with him. Or maybe they won't be. Hey, you only got him for a year, you know? Where do you want to be?
They might use him.
They might use him. But going back to the Bears, what do you your last thoughts on the Bears, Vince?
I think their playoff shots are totally shot. I think they're just playing for a pick now, whether they want to start winning right now or whether they want to throw in the towel like their fans maybe are going to be doing. But oh my goodness, we got him.
I knew it was gonna happen.
We got him. He still doesn't know yet, but we're gonna let him put himself on there. But yeah, Bears,
hey, you listen here, dude.
No.
The Niners are for real, bro. How many times I gotta tell you all? Niners are legit. You put Saquon in there, don't matter. It ain't gonna do it. You put Matt Breida in there, hey man, Matt Breida used to be with the Niners. We kicked him out, bro. He ain't good anymore. On to the next, bro. Add him to the list. Liam.
Dang. Love it, AJ. And he's out. And he's out of here. Love to see it. All right. So Justin Fields, yes, he's not looking like the guy that the Bears thought he was going to be. He's not looking like the guy he thought he was going to be, et cetera, et cetera. I really, I'm not a Justin Fields hater. I wish the best for his career. I do hope that he figures it out. But in my opinion, this whole 100% falls on him, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach. I group those in together because they're the ones that coaching Justin Fields. Justin Fields needs to play better. In my opinion, if you want Justin Fields to become a passer, you cannot just completely make the 180 flip and say he's a passer now, he's not going to be running. Only 14 carries for Justin Fields, not a whole lot of design runs for him. I think it's a mistake. Liam says, left before I could respond. He's saying you're scared, AJ. Liam, he's going to actually find your address and kick your butt, all right? Trust me, I know this guy. He's a scary man. But Justin Fields, you can't make the complete 180 with him. In my opinion, they still need to have him in the run game. I know it's scary. You don't want to turn into like Anthony Richardson getting hurt every single game. But you have to slowly transition that. Right now, defenses aren't scared of the run right now with how many carries he's doing. All you got to do is just contain the running back, and then, hey, let's just play zone coverage, whatever. Let Justin Fields figure it out. In my opinion, if you want Justin Fields to succeed, draw up 3-4 design runs, and then also give him the freedom to run out of the pocket if he sees a good reason to, and then also get more design plays to go deep, throw deep. A lot of these plays are all short yardage screens, dink and dunks. It's too predictable. In my opinion, the best that we've seen Justin Fields as far as passing has been as a deep thrower. You got to draw up more plays for that. He's not a dink and dunker, shred the zone coverage, etc. That is how you make Justin Fields succeed. All right, let's get to the comments. Liam says, I need Saints defense to get less than 5 points and I win. Y'all think I got it? The Panthers so far have 3 points. I don't know what Bryce Young is going to do. The Saints do have a decent defense, in my opinion. I think potentially.
I don't know, man. I think that's a stretch. The Panthers would have to score. They would have to score at least 24 points, and the Saints would have to do nothing. They'd have to no sacks, no interceptions.
That's going to be rough, especially Bryce Young is still developing, and I think he threw like 2 interceptions last week. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and I know he threw at least 1. Yeah.
I think the Saints also had like 3 interceptions last week too. So
yes,
it's going to be hard to see.
That's a team that you also need to keep your eyes on. AJ Alvarado, our fearless leader, says just booked a flight to Canada. Oh my God! Hey AJ,
Get scared, Liam.
I know you're a big money spender, man, but geez, man, just to beat somebody up, it's an international flight.
Man. He's just a kid.
He's just a kid. All right, so that's what I have to say about the Bears. You gotta play to Justin Fields' strengths before you fully develop him into being just a pocket passer type of guy. He's an amazing athlete. There are strengths to him, but you gotta let him get there. It's not gonna happen overnight, okay? Let's see. Liam says, "What city again, AJ?" That's what I thought. Ooh, he said,
"Jeez."
AJ's a private investigator, man. He's gonna find you, Liam.
He will.
He's gonna find you. You gotta be careful. All right. Now to the Nets 0-2 team.
I don't know, man. Who do you want to talk about? We got 5 more.
Let's talk about the Texans.
Let's do it.
We'll go over this one pretty quickly. Texans. I mean, we knew they were going to be good. Like, we knew this wasn't going to be, at best, they were going to be a just below 500 team, right? I think that's all we all believed. That's like huge growth. But you also have Colts also. And Anthony Richardson got hurt in that game. Not the best for him, in my opinion. But I do believe C.J. Stroud played pretty well. In my opinion, they should not be letting him throw that much. 47 pass attempts, completed 30 of them, which is very impressive. 384 yards, 2 touchdowns, didn't throw a single interception. If I saw a rookie in his first game throw 47 passes, I would expect there to be a pick in there at least. So very things you can definitely grow upon. Other than that, the rushing offense was basically non-existent. Could barely sustain a drive with that. And then receivers, Nico Collins had a game. 7 receptions, 146 yards. Definitely a lot of things in this Texans team that you can be excited about, but you have not gotten the end result that you want. So.
Yep. I think right now they're putting a lot of Band-Aids on their boo-boos, and they're just trying to get through the year. And they're hoping that C.J. Stroud can stay healthy. He can develop a little bit with the guys that they have. And next year, I think they're going all in because I think they have a lot of picks next year as well. So,
for sure.
So I believe in them within the next 2 years. I think they'll be a great team. They just have to keep everybody that's worth it, and hopefully they can hit on some more draft picks. But I mean, Texans won't make the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking here.
Yeah. All right. So, and Liam has gone ahead and queued us up for our Nets 0-2 team, the Chargers. And AJ says Brandon Staley on the hot seat. And Liam says at this point, I think Aswell might as well hire Urban Meyer. I don't know about that one. That is a dumpster fire. Brandon Staley, so as the whole Chargers team, in my opinion, it is not time to freak out. In my opinion, it is not time to freak out. There's times to freak out. It is not now. The Chargers have just lost to, in my opinion, 2 good teams. Dolphins the first week, and then this week it was Titans. Never mind. I forgot. I thought they played somebody else. So my bad about that one.
That's another team, Reed. That's another team we'll talk about later.
Yes. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, I think the Chargers they should win the next 2 games. So they should even out. They have Minnesota upcoming on September 24th. It's a 12 o'clock game. It's not prime time, so Kirk Cousins might play well. But as we've seen so far, Minnesota cannot win those tight games anymore. I think that the Chargers will have the upper hand here. They're hungry. They want to get a win on the board, So do the Vikings, but I think the Chargers are the better team here, and I think they pull that out. In week 4, they play the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Las Vegas Raiders got demolished this past week. I'm surprised they're a 1-1 team, but that's because they played the Poverty Broncos, who we'll talk about later. But yeah, so I think Chargers have a good upside here for the next 2 weeks, but after that, they got some tough sledding for the next 2 weeks, week 5 and week 6 against Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be hard.
My thoughts on the Chargers, you guys were competitive in both of these games, had an absolute shootout with the Dolphins, had a competitive game against the Titans. I don't think you guys should have lost that. You guys should beat the Titans, in my opinion. They're not a good team, in my opinion. Liam says Miami loss made sense, but Tennessee played good defense and no Eckler. And that's my second point. Eckler being out. Hey, you should have paid that man. I think he would be playing a lot harder or trying to get on that field if you had given him his dang money. Give him his dang money. And AJ, if he was here, he would probably talk about Eckler dropping all these little hints through social media, dropping this weird TikTok. And I was like, what the hell is this? Even what are you talking about, Eckler? Definitely some weird things going on in that Chargers locker room as far as Eckler goes. Yes, because Aaron Jones makes so much. Yeah, he took a $5 million pay cut, and guess what? He's been paid very well before that. Yes, he gets paid more than a lot of running backs. Paid a lot. We paid that man. He's gotten his money. And Aaron Jones, hey, he's incredible. He's way better than Eckler.
When he's on the field, yeah.
But in my opinion, you should not freak out if you're a Chargers fan. You guys are going to come back, okay? I believe in you guys. But Liam, while you are here and commenting, I do want to get your reaction to Justin Jefferson's comment about the Chargers defense, saying he cannot name a single player on that defense. A single player on the Chargers defense. He don't know none of their names. Doesn't know who they are. So, yeah, I would love to hear your reaction to that. He says we always do. I think he's talking about paying people, I think. I would assume so.
I don't know.
So. All right.
I'm not sure.
But as Liam responds to the Chargers getting absolutely disrespected by Justin Jefferson, and he's going to disrespect them on the field, we're going to move on to our next team. That's going to be the Cardinals. Vincent, you know the Cardinals more than most people. You are in their division as a Seahawks fan. What do you think of the Cardinals as of this point? They are 0-2. Give us your reaction.
To be honest, with the talent that they've played, I expected them to do worse. They played the New York Giants this past week. Before that, they played the Washington Commanders. Washington has a pretty decent defense, and they only lost 16-20 to them. But the biggest bright spot on their team that I think should worry Kyler Murray is Joshua. I don't know how you say his name, Dobbs, something like that. But he's been playing pretty phenomenal, in my opinion. His passing percentage is great. Of course, it's a lot of dink downs and dunk downs, whatever you want to call them, dink and dunks. I don't know if this is Dunkin' Donuts, but yeah, that's what he does over there with Arizona. And I think it looks a lot better than what Kyler Murray was trying to do when he was playing quarterback for them. I feel like they have the same exact team besides Kyler Murray. James Conner is doing pretty well. The offense is decent. It's the defense. They have no defensive players. They traded a lot of their young core on the defensive side. They just need to stock up on defensive draft picks, and I think they'll be a mediocre team until they can sign some big free agents where they can help themselves out. But right now, the Cardinals are playing a little bit better than I expected. I'm sure if AJ was here, he would say they suck. And they do.
He called them dog water.
Yeah, dog water. They are. But, I mean, they played decently. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they're the worst team in the NFL at this point in time. But they are still down there. So I'm not going to give them too much credit. But the Cardinals are playing decent.
All right. Notorious TBG says bear down. Notorious, you should have been here earlier, man. I gave you a whole shout out and everything as basically the only NSP fan who's a Bears fan other than my father who watches. Notorious, if you're still in the chat, I would love to hear what you have to say about why the Bears are 0-2 right now and what your thoughts on Justin Fields. As a Bears fan, I would love to know. I gave my whole spiel. If you want to rewind it, you should and listen to what I had to say. But Bears, I've been very disappointed in them because you guys, as Bears fans, hyped up the Bears so much that this was going to be a huge launching point for you guys as your franchise. So I would love to hear your thoughts. As I respect all Bears fans. I hate Vikings fans. I hate Lions fans. I respect Bears fans because we have that rivalry. But I would love to hear what you have to say about this.
I love Liam's comment right here.
Liam, I'm not going to read all this. Okay, Liam, it's all the Chargers defense right here.
It's the last one though. The last one. Read the last one.
Eric Kendricks was literally that's a good one.
Jeez,
that's a good one. I'll give you a compliment on that one, Liam. That was actually really funny. And he says so many more. Yeah, I think that was a little disrespectful of Justin Jefferson saying, I don't know who's on this Chargers defense. He probably doesn't know that Eric Kendricks is on the defense. He knows who Eric Kendricks is. He just doesn't know that's where he went. He's probably just paying attention to Minnesota and thinking about the Packers all day long. But
rent free
always. But back to the Cardinals, as we were talking about them. I agree with everything Vincent is saying. They've been surprising, but at the end of the day, they haven't won any games, and I don't think they're going to be in a position to win a whole lot either. It's just about how everybody thought going into this year about the Cardinals. Notorious says, "Hell yeah, I'm not worried." Woo! Okay,
dang.
I know we're freaking out as a whole fan base here. And Justin obviously is playing timid. I'm giving him until week 12, barring injury, to give it together. Then it's back in time. I don't know what back in is. Can you look that up? That word, Vincent? I want to get a.
I will.
I want to get a definition there. I've never heard that. But week 12, that sounds like a long time for him to continue to grow. I think you've given him.
Oh, that's their backup quarterback. I think.
Oh, okay.
Tyson
I thought it was
Bagant. Yeah, I thought he was like dissing him.
I had no idea what that meant. Okay.
Bagant time.
All right. Yeah, Justin Fields. I think you've given him enough time. In my opinion, he played half. I think it was about half-ish of his first year. He started almost every single game last year. I think this is the year that he should start proving himself. I mean, Jordan Love on the Packers, he's been sitting. He hasn't got any starts, and he's thrown 6 touchdowns on the year already. I think Justin Fields should, in my opinion, should start producing right now. But hey, if you're willing to give him that amount of time, then give him that amount of time. I respect you that you're not worried, and you think that this Bears team is going to pull it together. I hope they do. All right, not fully as a Packers fan. Liam says Cousins is on pace to throw 51 touchdowns after 2 weeks, and guess what? Jefferson is on pace a mesmerizing 0 touchdowns. Hey, man,
that's funny, bro. It is.
I really hope Justin Jefferson leaves the Vikings and he realizes that he does not want to be throwing to or Kirk Cousins be giving him the ball or whatever rookie veteran quarterback they get next year. I really hope he leaves that team. Notorious TBG says this year is all about evaluating Justin Fields. Week 13 bye is when you make a quarterback change. If he proves he's not the guy, put in Baggins and get ready for that high draft pick next year. Hey, if that's your plan, let's go for it, man. In my opinion, that should have been your evaluating year should have been last year for Justin Fields. But hey, as long as you're evaluating him and not completely sold on him, then I do respect your opinion. I think it's a good one. I just think it's a long time to develop him, and you know what? No, I disagree with myself right there. I've always said that you need to give a quarterback 3 years.
Yeah,
I disagree with myself. Notorious, I think you have a great outlook as a Bears fan here. Let's keep watching Justin Fields and see what he does.
Liam is going after everybody, bro.
Get ready for a high draft pick for the next 5 years, Notorious. Hey, man. Liam, leave them alone. Hey, they'll trade away their first round high or the first overall pick and give another great quarterback to some other team. All right, come on. Now, Bears as a franchise, I think Notorious knows, are just absolutely cursed at the quarterback position their entire lives. Liam says, haven't heard from AJ for a while. Dude, he's not feeling well, man. We this past weekend, I don't know if he wants to talk about his personal life, so I won't talk about it too much. But we had an awesome, fun weekend, and he's still recovering from it. All right, still recovering. Notorious says you can't evaluate Fields based on last year. No weapons, no O-line. Hey, you're right. Notorious is completely right here. No O-line, second offensive system, new offense coordinator. He got injured last year. Bear fans are so reactive. Notorious has shut me up here. I very rarely say that on podcasts, but Notorious has completely proven me wrong. He is 100% right here. I respect this guy right now. As I said, I respect the Bears. I hate if you were a Vikings or Lions fan, I would be giving you hell right now. I respect the Bears. Liam says maybe he is coming up to Canada. He's
on his way, bro.
You don't want this, bro. Here he is. There he is. There's AJ. Liam,
all right,
you gotta
man.
be careful.
Let's move on so we can make the game at 7:15.
Right. So Texans, we talked about them. Chargers, Cardinals. Next, we're going to talk about the Broncos. Ooh. Sean Payton's debut back into the NFL as the Broncos head coach has not been perfect so far. This past week, they lost to the Washington Commanders. It was a close game, only lost by 2, 35-33. But
last week, they lost to the Las Vegas Raiders, 16-17.
As far as teams that you should be able to beat, these are the games you got to win against the Commanders and Raiders. Both, hey, they've got some bright points on their team, but overall, not a very good team. These are the games you have to win. So, if, in my opinion, as a Broncos fan, I'm looking at this team going, why did we trade a first overall pick for a coach? A first overall pick for a coach. Yeah, Sean Payton is great. In my opinion, one of the better coaches in this game. But
they got fleeced.
They got absolutely fleeced. Terrible decision. I'm freaking out. You traded for Russell Wilson, that didn't work out. You traded for Sean Payton thinking it fits Russell Wilson. It's still not working out. Russell Wilson has looked better, in my opinion, over these past 2 games than he did all last season. But there's still huge things you have to be worrying about. And unless the Broncos' plan is for 2 to 3 years, your plan last year was you were a quarterback away. So what is it? What do you need to do to fix this team? I would be freaking out if I was a Broncos fan. Liam says, I think the Broncos have shown good signs. So there have been good signs, but overall, they're not finishing off games. Putting up 33 points, this defense was supposed to be good. They gave up 35. The offense did enough, but the defense did not. There's bright points, but you gotta play well on all sides. The last game was a fun one to watch. I have not watched a whole lot of games as I was puking up my guts. As Vincent was holding back my hair. I was not doing very well, and then I had to drive 6 hours back to my home here in College Station. But
yeah, man. I want to talk a little bit about the Broncos here. This past game against Washington is way closer than it seems because of that miraculous Hail Mary that Russell Wilson threw. I know you didn't watch the game, Reed, but I watched some of the highlights on it. Basically, they were down by, I believe it was 8 points. So they were down by 8 points. So that's like, 28-35, I believe, or 27-35. So they were down 27-35. Russell Wilson heaves up a big Hail Mary from like the 40-yard line. It bounces off some hands, and one of their receivers catches it in the end zone. So they go for 2. They missed it. But that's just that's a miracle play, you know? How often do Hail Marys work unless you're Aaron Rodgers? Sometimes it works a little bit more when you're him, but it's very rare to do that. So this team still has a lot of question marks on offense. Jared Jeudy came back. It didn't look like the Jared Jeudy that we are used to. It's more about that Mims rookie receiver who's been playing lights out. So here I think they still have a lot of question marks on offense. Russell Wilson is playing better in my opinion, but I feel like their offense still is missing something. The run game is decent. Maybe they need a new running back, in my opinion, to liven up something on that offense. But the defense also needs some work. I mean, it's a lot of things here. I think the Broncos are a lot away from being a winning team.
Gotcha. Notorious TBG has a question for me. Reed, how do you evaluate the Packers losing to Atlanta? I was surprised defense let Desmond and Bijan run all over them. So, as I said a little bit ago, I have not watched a whole lot of football this past weekend. I almost got a heat stroke. Vincent was holding back my hair as I threw up. It was a bad day yesterday. All right, so I'm a little bit behind. I have not fully watched the game. I plan on doing that this week, and I'll give you guys hopefully maybe a Packers talk video coming soon. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But how do I evaluate them? In my opinion, I said this all season. All of our money, as far as the cap space, is spent on defense. We need our defense to execute, and there was a lot of missed tackles, which allowed Desmond Bijan to run all over us. Desmond to light us up in the passing game also. And ultimately, I put this loss fully on the defense. I think the offense did enough other than sustaining drives. But in my opinion, we were 2 offensive players away from winning this game. Being down both Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, our best playmakers, and Bakhtiari, from my understanding, he did not play that game because he had swelling in his knee. And our second best offensive lineman, Elton Jenkins, has an MCL sprain from that game. So we were down 4 of our best players on offense, basically. That's why I think they weren't able to produce. Defense, you didn't do good enough. You let up 13 points in the fourth quarter. Definitely things you got to clean up. But in my opinion, as you are as a Bears fan, this is an evaluation year for the Packers. I'm hoping that it's not a full rebuild with Jordan Love, but it's more of a retooling. Hey, let's see what we got. Let's get out what we don't and get some new players in here. I'm hoping it's just retooling year for the Packers. But in my opinion, I'm not too worried about this. I'm hoping the Packers win 6, 7, hopefully 8 games at most this year, and we're able to retool for next year. I'm not worrying too much, but definitely disappointing what I saw from the Packers. Nahura says, yeah, I agree. Missing Aaron Jones was obvious. Dylan ain't it. I said this after last week. I'm completely out on A.J. Dillon. I love him as a guy. He is a Packer. A great Packer. He carries the G, as we Packer fans say it. He's a great Packer. His body is just built as a running back. His quads are humongous, but he's just not able to keep moving, unfortunately. He isn't able to hit the gaps well. He's not producing, unfortunately. It's really, really tough to see. I really wanted him to take over after Aaron Jones leaves the Packers and be our running back 1, but it's just he's not the guy, unfortunately. Which is why potentially we're trying to get in on Jonathan Taylor. And I think we may potentially be getting on Cam Akers potentially and trading Dylan away. Ooh. I think that's a complete possibility in my opinion. Wow. But Aaron Jones, he moves this offense. If we move on from Aaron Jones after this year, which I think is almost like 100% guaranteed, we need to find a new running back to take that spot and be our mover of this offense, because unless Jordan Love completely becomes a solidified start in this league after this year, which potentially he can be, he's been showing good promises. I'll stop talking about the Packers here soon. Sorry, guys. But we need to find a new running back for them. And then AJ says Eckler to Green Bay. I think the Chargers are still not are asking for probably way too much for him. I think the Packers are going to try to find a budget running back. Knowing Gutekunst and what he does, he is going to find a budget. He's not going to get a Jonathan Taylor for a first-round pick. We offered them, but it wasn't enough. He's not going to trade away the whole house for a Eckler or a Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to trade away some picks to get a budget running back like Cam Akers. I think we could get him pretty cheap, hopefully a 3rd or 4th. But I don't see an Eckler or a Jonathan Taylor making it to the Packers unless Nets offseason.
I'm going to look at this comment. There you go.
CJ Gardner Johnson potentially done for the season. Torn pec. Is that the game? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update. That sucks.
That is the Saints star. I think he's a safety, or he could be a cornerback.
I'm pretty positive it's a corner, if I remember correctly. But that sucks for the Saints. Wow. I think did Liam say he had the Panthers defense, so it doesn't.
No, he has the Saints defense.
Oh, so this is not good.
No, he's going against the Saints defense, so I guess this is good for him.
Oh, this is good for him. Did you wish for this, Liam? Are you the reason?
Oh no, he says this is the Lions cornerback. That's
Next.
true. He did get traded. That is true.
No, I think you're thinking about a different guy.
Am I?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, we'll search that up later.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's been a long weekend for us. Notorious says no more blue ski masks. LOL. What's that for? I'm out of the loop on this one.
That's the Seahawks. Basically, the Lions. They were saying for all the fans there in Detroit to bring blue ski masks because they're gonna shut down the Seahawks. And yeah, so they lost, and
Gotcha.
we stole a blue mask. And apparently, I don't know how true this is, but apparently some of the Seahawks players like trashed the Lions away team locker room. But
wow,
hasn't been confirmed. We'll see though. But yeah, the Lions were talking a lot of trash, so I think the team kind of retaliated a little bit.
Gotcha. All right. CJ got traded from the Eagles. I think. I thought he left during free agency. I didn't think it was a trade.
Yeah, but he is on the Lions, so yeah.
Okay, got it. That sucks for him. All right, we have, I believe, one more team to go through, and no, we have two more. So we'll go through the Patriots real quick, and then go to our heavy hitter, Patriots 0-2. I think you shouldn't overreact.
Yeah.
We all knew you were in a hard division. Not as hard now that Aaron Rodgers is down and the Jets stink. But Dolphins, you lose to them. You lose to the Eagles. Those are potentially the top two teams in the NFL right now. I don't think you should overreact. You're competitive in both. Don't overreact. But, yeah, you guys are already going to stink this year, okay?
Yeah, dude, they have a tough schedule.
Yep.
I mean, next week I think they should win against the Jets. But after that, they have Dallas, and then they have New Orleans. So we'll see how they do within these next weeks. They don't have too many easy games, so Patriots need to rough out some wins.
For sure. All right, getting back to the comments real quick. Liam says, y'all think Matt Breida is an option for fantasy with Saquon out? It's a 14-man league, not too many options. Vincent, what are your thoughts?
I would say you take it, man, especially if you're hurting at running back. We don't know if Saquon's going to be out 1 week. We don't know if he's going to be out 4 weeks, Obviously, they haven't put him on IR yet because they don't know the extent and how long he's going to take to heal. But from what we know from Saquon, he's always had ankle injuries. Even before he tore his ACL, it's always been bad with his ankles. But I think it's worth a chance. I think if Saquon already got hurt this year, I feel like Matt Breida is going to come back at least 2 more times this year because Saquon's going to be injured. So stash him, especially since it's a 14-man league. You might as well pick him up now.
All right. Heard it from the man himself. AJ says, I need Steelers to give me 8 fantasy points to win. Chorizo time?
Chorizo.
Then Liam says, confirmed Steelers defense getting 7 points. AJ loses. Liam said it himself. It's definitely going to happen. In my opinion, I think the Broncos are actually the Browns, are actually going to ball out against the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to have a bad game. This is the end of the Mike Tomlin era, unfortunately. I think the Browns play pretty well here. So I would be worried. It is not chorizo time. All right, AJ? You want those chorizos. Notorious says, reports that Saquon injury isn't a high ankle. I think, yeah, it's just an ankle injury, but it is week to week. Matt Breida should be a good pickup if you are wanting to win. Whoa, AJ pulled out the reverse card. Says, I have JK, I have the Browns D.
Liam.
Dang. Liam says, Tomlin to the Chargers. That would be the best situation you could ever have, Liam.
Most likely.
Dream about it, wish for it upon a star. We'll see, all right, buddy? Liam says both defenses getting a -1, AJ. Dang. 78-79, final score. One of the best. It's exhilarating. That's not going to happen. Did you see what the Browns defense did last week? Come on, Liam. All right, let's get on to our last team that is 0-2. I've been waiting for this team to go last because I wanted one of our biggest fans to join the chat, but he is not here, Kyrie, to defend the Bengals and talk about why They stink so bad. What is Joe Burrow doing? What is Jamar Chase doing? Why is this offense that should be one of the best offenses putting up a bunch of stinkers? Vincent, take it away.
I don't know, man. Obviously, week 1, the Browns defense was really good. I will give them that. They were all over Joe Burrow, and we know the offensive line has not been worked on. AJ says screenshots, and William says I'm a minor. AJ, watch it. So, but we'll leave those two to fight. Oh my God, I think Liam just put in the Discord saying that you were talking trash about him to Kyrie. So we'll see if Kyrie gets on. We'll see. But it's true. AJ confirms it in our Discord. If you guys want to join our Discord, Reed, I don't know if you want to put it in the link here, but we have fun in there a lot, especially AJ. AJ will always comment at you. But yeah, so the first week, I don't blame the Bengals. It was just great defense by the defensive line and those linebacker core for the Browns. But this last week against the Ravens are now 2-0, and the Bengals are 0-2. Surprisingly, Lamar Jackson hasn't been playing good, but the defense has been holding up. The offense is playing quite well, whether Lamar Jackson is popping off or not. But for the Bengals, it's the total opposite. It seems like the defense is trying so hard to contain whatever the other team is doing. They only gave up 24 points in the first game of the Browns and 27 to the Ravens, which is not the best, but not too bad. But it just seems like Joe Burrow can't get in line with Jamar Chase anymore. It seems like teams are playing, I guess, doubling Jamar Chase. Haven't really watched too many of their games because I feel like they aren't exciting. But the Bengals just lost their spark. I feel like Mixon isn't doing too much. I think that first week he might have done well, the second week he might have done well, but it still wasn't enough. I feel like Joe Burrow is the one that's slacking here. I've had a couple people say on fantasy already that they don't know if they should move on from Joe Burrow or if he's going to actually get it together this year. So we'll see.
We'll see. Joe Burrow, first career game, 2 games he's 1-7. He does not start off hot. That is true. He didn't start off last year, et cetera, et cetera. AJ calls us the bum gals. Dang, that's rude, AJ. That's your second favorite team right there. You're a fan of this team. Liam says people really thought that Joey B was better than Herbert too. Liam, that is the most out-of-pocket thing. Liam, we're screenshotting this, Betty. All right? We're going to screenshot this and see what happens, all right? Liam says, bruh, Pittsburgh pick sticks. Dang.
Ooh, let me check. I want to see if the score's updated. Oh, yeah. The first play. Holy shoot.
The first play?
Yeah, there's only 9 seconds that have run off on the game clock.
Hey, AJ, it looks like you should have gotten the Steelers defensive stream, all right, buddy? You would have already won. It would have been a dub. But my thoughts on the Bengals, I think even though that I would have thought Joe Burrow would have figured it out, but he has that calf injury still hurting him, he said, apparently, which is a huge worry. You want your quarterback that you just paid $50 million to per year to be able to put up big numbers and be healthy. Hopefully is able to slowly recover, but him having this so early in the year, and it sounds like he's not going to be rested or stopped from playing unless it gets even worse. But I think you should definitely worry. It sounds like he's going to be dealing with this calf injury all year long. So, in my opinion, I think you should worry a little bit. They got to figure something out. You got to light a spark under these guys to go out and win it. Because right now it's looking like you guys are in trouble for a while. And AFC, there's no margin for error over there, okay? So you guys got to figure something out soon. AJ is going to win now too, but hey, he has the Browns D. He forgot. So glad AJ is so honest. I would never forgive him if he lied to me. AJ never lies. He never does. All right, any closing comments? We're going to give our before we end, we will give our predictions for these 2 games going on. But Vincent, do you have any closing comments?
No, man, but just getting back on the Bengals a little bit, I think they should be scared. I think they are going to miss the playoffs this year. the way that their division is working out so far, I don't think that whatever the Bengals are going to do, I could be totally wrong. Notorious TBG was so right that the first 2 games of every year that he started, he's 1-7, so they haven't been really good. But I don't know. From what I've been seeing, it doesn't look like they're really going to figure it out. But I could be totally wrong, but I'd be scared if I was a Bengals fan. So, Kyrie, you're 0-2 just like your team, but hopefully they can make it because I don't think you are in fantasy, bro.
Uh-oh. All right. Very quickly, I'm going to give our predictions, my predictions, and Vincent will go about these 2 games. Saints and Panthers. I'm going to say Saints come out on top 20-8 to 16. 20
So 20-16. Oh, that's going to be a close one then.
Yes.
Let's see. Before the game started, I thought the Saints were going to win too. I think this will be a little bit of a higher scoring game. I'm going to go 27 to possibly like 13 or something. I think the Saints played really well. I think the Panthers are going to have a lot of trouble scoring.
Got it. All right. And then next, Browns versus Steelers. And I said it a little bit ago, I think the Browns are going to really wreck shop in this game. That defense is looking very, very good. And Steelers, I think they eventually figure it out on offense, but don't figure it out this week. So I'm going to say Browns win 30-17.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the score now that the Steelers are up 7-0 because of the pick that Deshaun Watson threw, but I still think the Browns will come out on top. I think this will be a little bit of a tighter game just because the Steelers have like 7-point cushion basically now, and Deshaun Watson's probably a little frazzled. So I'm thinking it's going to be 24-21. I think the Browns will win.
All right. We'll get to your question real quick, Liam. But Ray says, "What's good, guys?" Liam says, "Bad timing, Grave. We headed out." Liam, are you scared of Rave right now because your Chargers just lost to the Titans? Is that why you're trying to hey Rave, we're leaving, bro. We're leaving. He's scared, man. He's scared of AJ. He's scared of Rave. Oh boy.
Jeez, who's next?
Rave, he's calling you out. Yeah, Rave. Zach doesn't scare. You should be scared of Zach, man.
Zach's a different guy, bro.
Oh, AJ's calling a fight.
Jeez.
Liam says, "I'm sorry to say, Herbert done got that clutch in him. He don't got that clutch in him. Woo! That's crazy.
Shots, man.
That's crazy. Shots are going crazy. All right, Liam, to get to your question, thoughts on Ridley real quick. Anything to be scared about? I'm 100% positive that you're asking about fantasy-wise. Ridley, he popped out in week 1. Week 2, 2 catches for 36 yards, 32 yards. Definitely should be a little bit worried. It's starting to look like that 3 wide receiver threat is going to be a 3 wide receiver threat. It's going to be like the Bengals. 1 week, Tyler Boyd might pop off. 1 week, T. Higgins is going to pop off. Jamar Chase is always going to get his points, but it's going to go back and forth. You really just got to look and really decide who's potentially going to pop off that week. Maybe you could potentially try to trade him for a same caliber guy, but it's going to be more consistent. If you're scared about starting him on a weekly basis, that's maybe something I would do. Vincent?
I would agree, man. I didn't really like Ridley pickups this year, whether you got him in the 2nd, 3rd round, if you even slid down in the 4th round. I just don't like him being out a whole year, even though he is fast. You still have to get acclimated with your quarterback. He was not able to practice at all. So I think it's just a little sketchy. He might have some good weeks here and there, but yeah, I agree with Reed. I don't think he's going to be something that's like consistent. So you should probably go after something consistent if you still can. Wait for him to have a good week and then try to trade him, in my opinion.
That's a good plan. AJ says Rafe is going off in the comment section. Liam says, "Did y'all make playoffs last year?" All in caps. That's right.
Jeez.
Bolt the F up, Zach. Ray says, "I gave up Diggs and Walker for CMC." Okay.
Ooh, okay. I'm assuming he means Stephon Diggs and Kenneth Walker. So, I mean, if you needed a really, really good running back and you had some really good depth at wide receiver, I think that's good. But, yeah, he has his bench down below, I think. So,
yeah. Liam says rookie mistake. Typical Titans trade. Liam, you're hurt, man. You're hurt.
0-2, baby.
Ray says I had Rachaad White on my bench. I figured I could just replace Walker. I think I agree with that statement. Rachaad White is going to definitely light it up this end of the season, in my opinion.
Liam's so salty, bro. So salty.
Liam, move on, man. We're on to week 3, okay? We're on to week 3. Keep your heads going straight, all right?
Oh my goodness.
Ray says, Reed, shout out to Musgrave and the Packers defense on Sunday for getting me a combined 4.5 points. Hey, man, you never asked me if we should start both of those guys. I would have said no to both. Don't look at me, man.
That's unfortunate. Oh my jeez.
Liam says, Asian man, it's real easy to pick sides when you're sick. Whoo! Calling you out. He's saying you skipped the podcast, AJ. He's saying you skipped. You need a fight to be on. Apparently.
I like Liam's energy today. I like it.
Dude, he's on one today. He
is.
Ray says already had Garrett Wilson, Olave, London, and D-Hop at wide receiver.
Not bad, not bad.
Those aren't bad options, but there's also no Stephon Diggs there. Garrett Wilson was a Stephon Diggs caliber wide receiver, but with Zach Wilson thrown into his helmet, is he really? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I like D-Hop and Olave, so Wilson would be a good flex. Oh my jeez. AJ.
AJ says Reed kicked me out for today. That is 100% true. AJ tried to fight to be on. I told him, no, you get better. I'll take over. And we took over.
We kicked him off.
Great podcast. Without AJ, we don't need him.
Oh,
AJ. You guys, if you don't know, AJ's going to get so butthurt over that comment. We need you, AJ. We need you here. We miss you, man. Liam says payback for NFC Championship for which NFC Championship?
When? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. I guess I don't know, because Chargers are in the AFC, so I don't know what he's talking about here.
Maybe he's talking about me. AJ says I'm done. No, you're not, AJ.
Oh my goodness!
I told you guys he's gonna overreact. All right, guys. That's it. All we have. We're gonna go ahead and pay our attention to the games that are on. There's 2. He says Niners being Packers. Oh, that's what he's saying. I'm getting payback for that. Why'd you have to put salt in my wounds and reopen that for me, man? All right, there's still a lot of wounds there. All right, so many teams that the Niners knocked off that we had so much potential for. And the Niners went on to not even win to the Super Bowl. They either didn't go or they didn't win the Super Bowl. Very frustrating. So that's all we got for you guys. Please make sure you guys tune in next week to our fantasy talk. We're going to be talking about waiver wires. If you got any trades or any things you have questions about, bring them there. Also, you can always ask questions about fantasy in the Discord. AJ whips out his phone, answers right then and there. His fiance yells at him and says, "No, don't do it," but he cares about you guys so much and all that stuff. So make sure you guys tune in there. We're going to answer these comments, and then we're going to end it off. All right. Seth Notorious says, got Deshaun Watson, so I'm worried. You should definitely be worried. Oh, my God, he's coming. He's coming, guys. All right. TVG says, losing 139 to 141. He has Hubbard and Pinero. I got Watson. Ooh.
I mean, he might be all right. If Watson can get back on track, I think he might be all right.
You need a big game from Watson. You need a big game. AJ, you have Browns, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You're fine.
You're fine. Prove it. Send a screenshot, AJ.
Put it in the Discord.
Notorious says, thanks, Liam. Thanks for giving that.
Oh, my gosh.
I should not have put that on the screen.
I know. I saw you click on it. I was like, it's okay.
Okay.
Liam, you need to simmer down, buddy boy. Simmer
I
down.
was praying for Monty's downfall, and it finally happened because I got Gibbs. You were praying for David Montgomery to get hurt? Zach!
Rave is bad. No, yeah, that's Zach talking.
That's
not
Zach.
Rave.
Dude, that is wild. That is wild, Rave. I don't know about that.
Oh my!
It is good for your fantasy. I will admit that, but you can't be praying for injuries, man. Liam says, "Sorry, it's okay, Liam. It's all right. We try to keep it as family friendly as possible on here. It doesn't always happen though." Felt like a timely joke. Ray says, "Rave common," and then Liam says, "Typical Titans fan. What did I say, guys?
Jeez.
27." He's throwing the score back in your face,
Jeez.
dude.
These guys, oh my goodness.
Notorious says, "I'm a Bears fan. He trash talked my team, and I was even sad to see him go down."
Yeah, poor Monty.
Hey, I respect Bear fans. That's why I respect you guys. You guys are good people. All right. We are now going to end the stream. You guys go ahead and tune into those games. If you guys want to continue this trash talk, go join our Discord. It is in the link below. Or I don't think it's I haven't put it in the link, so I will quickly throw it into the chat so you guys can join. But yeah, please join the Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. A lot of memes get sent in there. So make sure you guys join that and continue this trash talk. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for joining the stream. It's been a fun one. And keep on grinding.